What up, what up, what up? It's your man's Wealth with Dale, aka the Roman Realtor. And today we're going to get into understanding property and money and how to make the most of it. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the repairs, the upgrades we do to our home, and the correlation of value. Because a lot of times you think, oh, if I fix this or I bought this, then I'll get that value back. And it doesn't quite work like that. So I'm going to tell you some of the top things you can do to ensure that you get a good return on investment from your home upgrade. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the things that have to be done because sometimes you feel like, oh, I spend a lot of money, I'll get a lot of money back, and no, you won't. So some of those low things are plumbing. If the plumbing's a little janky or it's not going great and you fix your plumbing, get it updated, you may spend $10,000 doing so. However, you won't see that on the back end when you go sell your home. There won't be an appraiser that will come and say, oh, we'll give them an extra $10,000 because the plumbing's new or newer. So those things you won't get back. You'll just kind of fall under whatever that market value is. A roof. Sometimes you have to get your roof fixed or maybe replace a roof, which can be very expensive. But if the home is, say, average worth $200K in that area and you got a new roof, and you spent 20 grand on, you're not going to be like, oh, my home's worth 220 now. It's supposed to have a good roof on it. So you're probably not going to see a good return on that roof. You know, you'll see some moderate stuff. Definitely stay away from these luxury things. And when you do, you just got to know these are for me. I upgraded to imported Italian marble tile, and we spent $20,000 on this beautiful tile. While it can be very attractive, it may attract a buyer. You're not going to necessarily see a one-to-one return on that. You're not going to be like, we spent the extra 20 grand on this tile, so the house is worth an extra 20,000 more. It does not work like that with appraisers. They'll say, oh, it's nice tile in here. There's stone tile, and they may give you some points for that. But there's not going to be a one-to-one. You're not going to see a return. You're going to see pretty low. Another one that's trivial for me is swimming pools. Now, swimming pools can go two ways. Swimming pools are very expensive now. And a lot of times, unless you have a place where there's a lot of swimming pools, it's hard to find a comp to support that pool and how much it was worth. So a lot of times you won't get that return back on it. However, it does make your home very attractive and stand apart. So you may have a situation where people are willing to pay a little bit more because there aren't a lot of homes with the swimming pool. Somebody family say, hey, I want a swimming pool. The availability of properties really drastically decrease, though. You may see it back on the desirability side, but it won't typically be a one-to-one saying this house is 200K. My house was 200K, but I bought a $60,000 pool, so now it's worth 260. Not so much. You won't see that type of return. They can give you some points for it, but you typically won't see a full return on your investment, right? So now let's get into the good stuff. Let me check my notes real quick. Exterior improvements, like I said, like roof and windows and things, you won't see a full return on that. You know, you may see 30, 40, 50% back on your money because you went and you upgraded the windows or you got some newer windows. An appraiser might not necessarily say, hey, oh, shoot, look at these new windows. He probably spent 20 grand on those or 10,000 on them. Let me give that back to you. Now, there are some ways you do bathrooms, right? Let's get into the good guys. Bathrooms, new tub glazing, vanities, tiles, floors, you see a great return on those upgrades. So those are the ones you do want to focus on. And there are the ones that people like a lot. Surprisingly, garage doors. The garage door and even front door, you get a good return on that. It makes the house very attractive. And you got a nice, fresh new garage door, a nice, fresh front door. The first thing people see is that first impression. You get a good return on those doors. Minor or kitchen remodels, right? You don't want to overdo it, but some things you get a great return on, man. We got new granite countertops, nice new cabinets, hardware. You typically can see a 75 to 85% ROI on these pieces, right? So those are ones you want to consider. Those are pretty cool ones that will give you a good return on investment. So when you're in the house, remember, this is a tool. We want to use it to build wealth. You have to pay to live somewhere. So let's go ahead and build some wealth while we're there too. And you always know my motto, life starts when your rent or mortgage ends. And that's always the goal. We want to get into here and live free. So if you're in the DMV area, you're looking to buy a home, you want to know how to do it strategically, let's talk. Let's make something happen. Drop home in the comments and let's connect. I appreciate you watching. Remember to keep this in mind when you're doing these upgrades. It's the most important things to get the best ROI for your buck. Let's go. Huh? Oh, my mom's coming.